What's up, Louisiana? It's Tim Davis, and you watching part 2 of episode 23 with Jazmin Thibodeaux from KATC TV3. So we were just talking about all the different positions that the news stations have and the things that she's done herself. So Jazz, let's get back into it. So tell me a day in the life of a news anchor. You can start from when you were, MJJ, like you said before, up into where you're now. Yeah. Oh, MMJ?
MMJ.
MMJ, I'm sorry. MJJ. I'm thinking about Mike, I don't know. Don't even worry about it. But
MJ.
Yeah. Multimedia journalist, MMJ. So tell us a day in the life of a MMJ, and then I want to know how it was to be called up to the big leagues and being the special senior reporter, TV anchor at the table, at the desk that everybody sees every day. I want to know about that too. But let's start about the day in the life.
So as an MMJ, the day kind of starts off, you start with your morning meeting where you'll make your pitches, which are your story pitches, like what you're pitching to do that day. It has to get approved. So once it's approved, then you start making your phone calls. You start trying to set up your interviews. This is usually around 9:30 in the morning-ish, something like that. Now, mind you, we have our 5 p.m. Well, some stations have earlier newscasts, but we have our 5 and our 6 p.m. and then we have our 10 p.m. So that means that depending on where your story is, if it's in the 5, then you need to have your story done probably by 4:30. If your story is in the 6, you need to have your story finished by 5:30. So your day is kind of starting off at 9:30 in the morning. You're starting to make your calls. Some people might have their stories set up ahead of time, but for your normal day, you're going to be setting up.
Oh, we're closed. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry about that. Hey, Pat, you want to lock that door? They saw the chorus. Yeah, but no, we'll be able to edit that out. Don't worry about that. But yeah.
So then you'll go ahead and you'll kind of start your day at 9:30, do your pitches, and you'll start making your interviews. You'll start making your calls. So, and sometimes when you make these calls, the people might not be available.
Yes.
Or they don't want to do an interview. So,
yes.
If that happens, well, then you have to pivot and try and find something else and kind of start over. But you also have to give them time to call you back, so then that can kind of kill time too. So you just never know how it might go. But once you do get it set up, they take their equipment. It's one person, one-man band. You take your equipment and you go to your interview. You shoot that interview. You ask the questions, all that, get that done. You then also have to shoot your B-roll, which is your video for your story. So they're shooting all that too. And typically, if you're turning a story, you want at least 2 interviews to make it balanced. So they're going to have more than one interview with that. So you have to do that as well. Then they have to shoot their stand-ups. Their stand-ups are when you see them on camera. So they're gonna set up their own cameras and do that. And then they have to write the story. So they have to write the story. Then they have to edit the story. So you have to edit the video. You have to track, which is what you've written. You have to track what you've written, and then put it all together: the video, the interviews, the track that you voiced, and you also have to write a web story. So to go with that, so you have to put that on the web. So it's a lot. And you have to have all that done by that time. So that's all day of. Unless it's a deep dive story and more in-depth story, you might have a few more days to do that, or weeks, depending on what it is. But for a normal day, that's kind of the normal day of an MMJ. Like they do a lot. They do it all. And I've done that, and it's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. So you really got to be dedicated. You really got to love what you do to do this. Every day you got to go out there and search for a story.
Yes.
And hope you get.
Every day it's something new.
So you ever had a story that you were like, for you to be like, man, I'm not feeling this is not.
Oh, that happens often.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I still tell stories.
Right.
Like in my role, I'm a senior reporter, so I still tell stories. Like I said, we use the term host, but for, any average person, when you look at it, it's basically, I mainly do the 6 p.m. Every now and then I'll do something on the 5 p.m. But for the 6 p.m. show, if you're watching it, I'm just not at a desk.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting at a desk. Basically, I'm out in the field wherever my actual story is that day, because like I said, I still turn stories during the day. But as a reporter, I do have a videographer.
Okay.
So I'll have somebody that'll shoot my stuff for me. He'll shoot my interviews for me. But I'm still setting up my interviews.
Right.
I'm still pitching stories most of the time. And I have the videographer to shoot that story, but I'm still writing my stories. I'm still editing my stories. And then I go out and whatever the producer sends me scripts-wise for any other, stuff in the show that the reporter isn't doing, I'm going to track that. I'm also going to shoot that in the field with a camera, and that'll hit air. So you'll see me out in the field somewhere, and so I'm basically anchoring, but just not at a desk.
Yeah.
I'm in the field doing that.
So when you're in the field and you come across, people like when you have I don't say a guest, but like somebody you have to interview and they say some off the wall stuff, like how does that make you feel? Like cringe, like, ooh, I can't believe they said that, or you just, how do you play that off, basically?
I just keep a straight face.
Yeah.
I keep a straight face.
So have you had
any?
Have you ever experienced anything like that to where you were like just, and you kind of took the mic away from them, like to where it just was?
I'm sure I have, and I'm just not remembering it right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, most of our interviews are recorded.
Okay.
We don't really do live interviews. So
Yeah.
if it's recorded and they say something off the wall, I'm like, I can just take
edit
that
that
out.
out.
Yeah,
Right.
because I might do an interview, and let's just say it's 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
I'm only using maybe 20 seconds here and there of that interview. I'm not
Yeah.
using that whole thing. So because the stories are typically a minute 30, a minute 45 on a daily basis.
So you got to crunch all
So
that
we
together.
have to put all that together to be able to tell the story. So that whole interview isn't going to air. So most of the time, whenever it's off the wall, I'm just going to keep a straight
Yeah.
face and keep it going. Because
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not going to use that.
Right,
not
because
gonna- we're gonna keep
I
that
think
on.
about the lady that was in another state, and she's like, the place was on fire, and she ain't grabbed no shoes or
Oh.
nothing. Jesus, and she was,
I remember
she
that.
got
That was-
bronchitis.
I got, yeah.
Yeah, so
remember that.
I was wondering if you ever came
I mean,
across
the reporter
something like
just
that.
decided, let me air this. This is gonna do well. And
Yeah.
I mean, it was, while it was comical, it was really what she went through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it wasn't something that it was off the wall to hear and crazy, but at the same time, that was her story. That's
Yeah.
what she went through. It was just how she said it, and it was like, well, then I'm still gonna air it because
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily something that was crazy enough not to air. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
So yeah, there's situations like that'll happen where it's like, it's funny, but that is her story.
That's her
That's
story.
what she went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with that, what was the most memorable story that you have had to, deal with or shoot or anything like that since you've been doing this line of work?
My response to that always is the Grand Theater shooting.
Mm.
I covered that whenever I was 2 years into the business, maybe. I was at Channel 10 at the time when that happened, and it's coming up on 10 years soon. And I just remember that night I was working night side. I had the night shift, and I just remember getting a call like, hey, you need to get to the movie theater now. And I wasn't really sure. I didn't know what was going on. And they were just like, no, you need to get there now. You grab a photog, get there. And so we got there, and that's when we just saw how, police out there was pretty hectic. I
Yeah.
had never seen anything like that before. I never expected it to be what it was. I thought it was just maybe it was a domestic situation or something
Yeah.
like that. I had no clue what was
Right.
going on. But then I got there and realized that, this is what it was. This was, several people injured, 2 people were killed. And it's still something that, I've never gone live that many times. I remember we went live several times that night. I remember once I was in the middle of the live shot and I could see people running in the left corner of my eye because they thought it was a bomb threat. And so they were like, run. So I had to legit run. I was live and run off air, get off air. And I remember we had a press conference that night. I remember the governor at the time was Bobby Jindal. He had come out there and we were interviewing him, and it was a lot. It was, but I think that would be my most memorable story just because of how traumatic that was for people who went through it
Yeah.
and people who were out there. And so you're gonna remember things like that. And that was my first time ever covering something that big. That might have been my only time looking back. That might have been the biggest story that I've covered. But just to have that happen where we live, where we're from,
Right.
that was something. So that would be my most memorable story that I've
Yeah.
done. Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that as well. We depend on you guys to give us these stories. Is it a lot of pressure on you whenever you have to, tell a story like that, or just stories in general, with the pressure of the eyes watching you, even if it's recorded now?
I think the pressure is more so I want to make sure that I'm giving you the correct information.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you anything that's wrong. That's where
Right.
the pressure comes from. But it's an honor to be able to be the person to be able to give people this information. Especially when we're covering hurricanes, for
Yeah,
example.
right.
We understand that you have to stay in your homes. We're telling you, stay in your homes to
Yeah, y'all
remain
out
safe.
there on the front line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're like we're the ones feeding you the information that you need to know to stay safe.
Right.
And so it's an honor to be able to do that, but the pressure comes with, let me make sure that I'm giving you the correct information for you to be safe wherever you are.
Yeah.
But again, like, I mean, it's just to be that person, to be able to do that and know that that's our responsibility to make sure that you're okay and, you know, at least give you the information to help you to be okay in those types of situations.
Right.
It's an honor to be able to do that.
Man, yeah. I mean, we depend on y'all. Like, does it really for you to like, hey, Jazmin, need you to go out there, and you're like, damn it, I don't want to. Do you ever feel like that? Have you ever? Not now, because you're great, but have you ever been like, man, it's too dangerous out there, I don't want to go? Have you ever felt that way?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah?
course. Yeah, especially if it's like a shooting or something like
Yeah.
that. You don't want to go to, and it's still an active scene and we still have to go.
Yeah.
We don't really want to do
Like,
that. I mean,
damn,
but we
man.
have to.
Yeah.
We have to. We have to give the information, and we do our best to, you know, and officers who are out there are really good about telling us, you know,
Yeah,
you
where
can't
you
go
can
right
be,
there.
yeah.
Right. But you know, there are times where it's like, okay, that's an active scene.
Yeah.
I don't know how safe I feel. You know, like you do have those thoughts, especially like I remember I was pregnant reporting, and there were there was a time where I remember I was like, nope, not
No, I'm not doing that one. Nah, call
Nope.
somebody else.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. Have you ever felt like starstruck when you interviewed somebody? You brought up Bobby Jindal, so I'm like, anybody like, oh man, I'm really talking to so and so.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm like trying to think. No.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, a lot of people don't get that. When you're in that line of work, it's probably hard. I mean, you see a lot of different, like you're friends with, you know, John Weatherall and Gerald Gruenig, you know, and you know, all kind of people that we've grown to love. So it's probably just normal for you. So
It is.
that's fine.
I just love that you're like Gerald Gruenig and
Yeah.
John. Like, yeah, I mean, for me with them, it's like I've known them for so long to where
Right,
it's
that's
like
just
John
Gerald,
and I
that's
went
just
to
John.
John and I went to college together. We worked at 10 together, so it's like I've been knowing him for a while. Gerald, you know, started while I was at 10, and
Yeah.
so yeah, great relationships there. And I mean, great relationships all around. Especially that's one of the things that I can carry with me is that because I've worked at all those stations, I have friendships built in at all these stations. You know, Darla, again, like I said, was my mentor.
Right.
I think I was starstruck interviewing her for my senior paper.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. And that was really good. And then Marcelle is one of my closest friends. And so, you know, I think when I first met her, we were talking about this the other day, because they featured the three of us, for all three of us being from Opelousas. And they, Herman put this in the article. He said, I chased Marcelle down at the church one time, and we still laugh about it today because I was a senior, or I was in college at the time, and we were both going to Holy Ghost Catholic Church in Opelousas, and she was there, and I stopped her, and I was like, hi, I'm Jazmin, and you know, I just love watching you on TV and stuff like that. And so we were talking about that the other day. So I think I was starstruck in that moment.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, girl.
Yeah, y'all the best of friends now.
Let me tell you what happened today.
Right.
So yeah, it's those types of situations. People that I admire, or I admired growing up, is something that'll leave me like, oh, I feel so honored to have interviewed them. Like I interviewed Judge Vanessa Harris the other day. And just, you know, growing up and knowing who she is and, you know, the impact that she's made in the community, I was honored to be able to interview her. So it's that type of starstruck that I'll have.
Yeah.
It's just like knowing what these people bring to the table, and I have the opportunity to tell your story.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, because it's a different, and you may not even think about it like that, but how does it feel for people to see you and they're like, oh my God, like that's Jazmin Thibodeaux right there?
It makes me crawl under the table. No, because again, I'm shy to a certain extent. Like I said, when I say that, people who know me are like, girl, no you aren't. Like, stop it, hush. But I am. So like when I'll see, like people will look at me, like they'll kind of look and they're trying to figure it out. They're like, you look, and sometimes they'll tell me, you look very familiar.
I can't quite put my finger on it.
my finger on it. And I'll give them some time, Because I'm like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But
Yeah.
then at some point I'll tell them, like, you might have seen me on TV.
Yeah, you put the voice on. You put
I'm
the
like,
TV
might
voice
have-
on.
Listen, I have a really bad accent. I don't know. It might have come out a few times in this, but like my accent is really bad. I'm not racist.
We know
just
where you're
kinda-
from.
I know
It's
how
fine.
to control it
Yeah.
at times.
Nah,
but-
you should just let it loose.
Oh,
Let
yeah,
it loose.
It'll come
Yeah.
out. Yeah. And so they'll say that at work. They're like, girl, where did that come from? Like, it's like, listen. But yeah, I mean, people will look at me and they'll be like, you look familiar. And every now and then I'll tell them, you know, I'm on TV.
Yeah.
You know, I work at 3. But for the longest time, if I can stay under the radar, I do.
Very humble. Very humble. Man.
Yeah, it's just I'm just not one that puts it out there.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not one. The first thing like, yeah, you should know me. You should know me.
Right.
I'm Jazmin
No, you're
Thibodeaux.
not gonna be like that.
Absolutely not.
No.
Mm-mm. If you recognize me, I'm glad to speak to you, give you a hug, say hi. I want to know your name. I
Yeah.
appreciate you watching. You know, I do. They have other options that they could be choosing, and you choose to watch
very
us.
true.
So
Very true.
I appreciate it, and if you come up to me, I'm definitely going to speak and be grateful, but I'm just not the person that will go up to the person, you know, tell people
Yeah.
who I am.
Right.
Like
No.
that's why, again, you asked about my name. I go by Jazmin Thibodeaux. My real name is Jazmin Craychan. I go
Right.
by my maiden name. That is what I started with. I started in this business before I got married, and so that's why I go by Jazmin Thibodeaux. But a lot of times, like, I'm not gonna call up a place and go by Jazmin
No,
Thibodeaux.
right.
I'm gonna go by Jazmin Craychan. That's my way of kind of keeping my life separate.
I don't blame you. I wondered about that, and I'm like, well, I felt that I understood why you did that, but you know, everybody has their own reason in being. But the reason why you had it was the reason I had. So I understand that. Now look, you're gonna tell me you didn't, but how did you get your voice, your TV voice?
Again, because I told them I didn't.
Yeah.
It just came with, I think it's just age. I think as I've gotten older, my voice has changed, and I think I've done it for so long that it's just, I think it just matured over the years, because I'll go back and I'll see my resume reel that we put together to get jobs. I'll watch my very first one, and it's like, whew, I sounded like a baby. My voice was so high pitched. It was so yeah. And I'm like, oh, I can't stand, which I still don't really like to listen to myself. But
What?
Oh no, no. I do
Wow.
not. I do not. I don't.
I would have never thought. I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna sit there and be like, damn, I sound good. I wouldn't think that, but still to where you
No.
kind of still cringe
The-
about it. I would have never thought that.
The most I'll do is if I see myself on something and I'll watch it, I'll be like, oh, I've gotten better. I can see my growth.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. You
Right.
know, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I will not. And you know, you should go back and watch it so you can see how to improve. Like,
Yeah.
do that every now and then. But yeah, I think the most thing, I think it's just matured over time. I haven't really done anything on purpose to be able to do that. I think it's come over time, especially anchoring. Anchoring helped with that. Going from reporting to anchoring, I started anchoring full time whenever I got to News 15. I started as a morning anchor there for a few months. Like I said, I talked about the 6 months. It was like 6 months in.
Yeah.
I became I was a morning anchor. Then I moved to evenings or maybe noon. I don't know. I anchored all the shows there at some point in time. But my voice eventually matured with that, and then I was also sending my reel to other anchors to get their advice,
Right.
and that helped as well. But yeah, that just kind of came over time.
Over time.
Yeah, over
do
time.
you put the news anchor voice on the kids like when they get in trouble?
No.
No.
That's when the accent comes.
I was about to say they
now I'm
probably.
mad.
Yeah.
Look,
right.
Now
I'm mad. Yeah.
now
look
I'm
at-
mad.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
The
Okay.
anchor voice comes off.
I got this one for you though, because he's not here to actually say, but who
My
shot their
husband?
shot first when it comes to you and Brandon?
I don't know if you would say. I would almost say my mother-in-law.
Oh yeah, my Aunt Carol. Yeah, my Aunt, shout out to my Aunt Carol.
Because I was working she works at 10 for now. She's
Yeah,
retired.
she's about to retire. Yeah.
But she was working at 10. She was covering the front desk because the front desk, the girl who handles the front desk, she was at lunch. So she was at the front desk. I think I went into the break room or something, and she's like, Jazmin, are you single?
She's very blunt. If y'all haven't met my Aunt Carol, she's very blunt.
She doesn't hold anything
No.
back. And so she was like, are you single? And I was like, why? Why are you asking?
What you
And-
trying to do?
Exactly.
Right.
And she goes, well, my son saw you on TV, and I think he's cute. Of course, you're gonna say your son is cute. And so she was like, he's cute, and he knows your cousin. he knows your cousin Dustin. They played baseball together. And I was like, okay. She's like, I'll send you a picture of him. So she did, and I remember he had a hat on in the picture, and I was like, his head looks like it's shaped funny. But I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be a fan. But eventually, I don't even remember how it progressed from there. Because I remember there was like we texted for a little while, and then we stopped, and then we started texting again.
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw him, he might have come to the station when I was there once. And I remember he had his boots on, his blue jeans, and a white T-shirt. I told him it was the boots that got me. I'm a country girl. The boots got me.
Oh, man.
And so Eddie sat at work with me for a little while and talked. Even came to a shoot. I remember we were doing the On the Road show, and I think we were in St. Martinville at the time.
Oh, he went to St. Martinville? Which?
Well, I mean, he's the Cray Chance from St. Martinville, Cade area.
He needed a reason, so I guess,
Yeah, so he went. I remember him coming to that, and I think on our first date, he brought me flowers and a Michael Kors purse.
Damn, cuz.
I know. Yeah, he did well. And so, we got engaged. I say 2 months, he says 3. We only dated for about 2 or 3 months, and then we got engaged. And
damn, I ain't know
we
that.
Married.
I just know I got an invitation to a wedding. Like, yep, I'll be there. It's my family. I'm showing up. I didn't ask no questions.
I know.
I'm just showing up.
We got married then, like about a year later, and we make 10 years this year.
Come on.
In a couple months. Yep. Yeah,
Man,
got engaged.
so
He knew what he wanted. But let me just say, I will put this out there. He saw me on TV, and he claimed it. He said he saw me on TV, and he did tell his mom, I'm gonna make her my wife.
Damn, he put that in the
He did. He put it on the atmosphere. He claimed it, and I mean, like again, I say, 10 years later, I'm still his wife.
Yeah, going strong. That's good.
Yes,
so I know y'all went to Shreveport, but the schedule, now that y'all have these crazy schedules with his job and yours, like how do you guys, with the marriage, how do you guys manage that?
Day by day.
Yeah?
Day by day. That's every day is different.
Yeah.
Especially with work. I never know what time I'm getting off work because, the schedule, the day is different.
Yeah.
So generally I have an idea, but it's different pretty much every day. Sometimes I'm rushing to the daycare to go get my son. Thankfully, it's not far from where I work. But his schedule is different. Brandon's schedule, he's a locomotive engineer. He doesn't work in town, so he drives a good distance.
Yeah.
And so if he's off early, well, then he's like, hey, I can pick up the kids. Okay, or I might be texting the babysitter. I might need you to go pick up this. So it's like, it's legit day. Or I'm texting my in-laws. I'm like, hey, can y'all pick up the kids?
Right.
So it's, when I say day by day, it is day by day, depending on how our schedule is going. And they're in sports. We have our daughters in basketball and volleyball. Our son is in t-ball. Our daughter's Liliana, son Lennox. And so, and that's busy. So that's, again, a day-by-day basis how we figure it out.
That's crazy. Because I know. And I see them. Yeah.
We pray.
Y'all got it. Y'all got a squad behind y'all, though, so shout out to your parents, his parents, everybody in between. So, because I know your schedule is crazy.
Oh, yeah. We're very grateful for our village.
Yeah.
Like, my mom is in Opelousas right now. Some part-time Opelousas, Harvey, which is the New Orleans area.
Right.
But when she's in town, it's like sometimes I got to call her, and I'm like, hey,
can you
drive
do
from
this?
Opelousas and come pick them up and do this? So, yeah.
Good thing y'all good, because, other people probably, Chris, I ain't going, so that's good.
Well, they know that, we are working. They know we both have crazy schedules, so they do what they can to help us to be able to manage it all with the kids. We're very grateful. We're very grateful for our village.
Well, we're very grateful. Look, we're grateful for them in the village, but now we got to see if Jazmin can be trusted. You guys trust her when it comes to the news, reporting the news and everything, but we'll have to see if she can be trusted with the will. So this is the can't be trusted will. So I'm going to need you, look, I messed up the will, all right? So don't.
Email,
why are you laughing, Pat?
Stamps, king cake.
Me and Pat always got something going on, man. So, all right, Jazmin, you're going to have to go ahead and spin this, and whatever it lands on, I got a question for you.
Okay.
It better not land on the stuff that it's been landing on the last few times.
AT10?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. We're going to have 2 questions, but this one first, right here. All right. So, when you and Brandon go to sleep at night and the kids and everything, what temperature is the AC on at night?
I don't know, because he's always moving it, but I think we try to keep it around 68.
Okay, that's not bad. All right.
Where we have an issue is that, I want it on, but I also don't like it on, is fan.
So you got her to turn the fan off?
We have the fan on pretty much. We have the fan on every night.
Yeah.
But I will sometimes come in the room, especially before bed. I'll turn it off.
Oh,
and he's
Lord.
like, "Why did you turn the fan off?" Because it's cold.
I'll be
Because
cold
it's
too. Oh yeah, like
it's like, and I'll tell him, I'll turn it back on before we go to bed. Whenever I have covers over me. Right now, whenever I'm just sitting in bed,
Yeah.
maybe trying to watch TV
Right.
or something, like, no, I'm leaving it off because right now I'm not ready.
Sabrina's the same way. Like she'll
Really?
turn the fan on and then she'll get under the covers and I'm like, well, turn the fan off. Then you won't need the covers.
Oh no.
But
He has to sleep with the fan. He has to sleep with the fan on every night.
Yeah.
So,
her too.
and I can deal with it. It's fine because
Yeah.
I'd rather sleep cold. But
Me too. Right.
Yeah. So
68. Good. All right. She
68.
can be trusted on this one.
Yes.
All right. Give it another spin. I hope it don't land on the same one. Man, that thing's spinning good.
Let's see. Let's do the lift weights.
There you go. Oh, that's self-explanatory.
IHOP.
What?
Oh, apparently I can't be trusted. I'm
Whoa!
assuming.
What?
Uh-oh.
All right,
Okay,
explain
wait.
this.
Let me correct this.
Okay.
I really don't have a true preference between the two. It's more so
Thank
the
you,
items that I will eat. So
Okay,
like
yes.
IHOP, they have the strawberry cheesecake pancakes that I love.
All right.
And that tops pretty much everything. Like that is why I will choose IHOP because I love the strawberry cheesecake pancakes. I love anything cheesecake, like even ice cream, strawberry cheesecake.
I mean, I get it, but
But Waffle House, I really don't eat it either because my trainer would kill me. But like if Candace watches this, Candace
just turn it off right now.
I don't really eat either, but if I do.
Yeah, back in the day, before you
Right.
started going through your
Right,
health journey, you
right.
know.
So IHOP, strawberry cheesecake pancakes, Waffle House. I would get the what do you get, the hash browns?
Yeah.
And you get them with
Look,
the chili,
yeah,
the cheese, the
you don't even-
jalapenos.
You don't even go there a lot because you
The
like. "Man,
term, I know I'm
forgot."
not saying the term.
No,
correctly, 'cause
I
they call it different
yeah,
things.
yeah, they do.
But I'll get that, and I'll do the eggs.
Does Brandon know this?
Does he know that? He
That you
knows,
prefer-
He knows what I like. He doesn't know, because I don't really have a real preference between the two, but he knows that if I'm going to IHOP, I like weird stuff. Like I like my friends will say that too. Like my friend Janae says it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Jazmin, you like to eat like random, like weird stuff if you're gonna eat. Like I want everything on it.
Oh, what
Well,
else?
Brandon
What
is
else?
very picky.
What else you like that's weird that
Like I
people
said,
probably
like,
wouldn't know?
I love like strawberry cheesecake,
That ain't too
ice
weird.
cream, which
That
I don't think
ain't
is
too
weird. But like, let's say we go to, I don't know, just stuff that has. I love sweet stuff, which I gave up for Lent.
So you like chunky peanut butter?
No, I like smooth.
All
I
right,
actually
okay.
do almond butter.
All right,
Um,
okay. Oh,
But if I'm doing peanut butter,
what?
only certain brand of almond butter. The only brand I'll do is Barney's, and it's smooth, and I like that. But that's, again, only because of the health journey that I am on. Other than that, if I'm doing regular peanut butter, it's going to be smooth. I do
Almond
not
peanut
do
butter?
Only Barney's, the Barney's brand.
The only Barney I know is Barney the dinosaur.
I love Barney too, but no.
Wow.
I love you, you love
Yeah.
me. I think
How
that's
you don't
it
like
goes.
Waffle House? How you
It's been a while.
IHOP
He's
over
laughing.
Waffle
I
House?
don't-
I am
We're a
appalled.
happy family.
Yeah, we family. Right now, she married to my cousin, so that's about the only thing that's got to
No,
save
I'm
right
telling you,
now.
if you try the Barney's brand of almond butter, it's good. I've had other brands and I'm not a fan. Just
I'm gonna
not.
look.
but
I'm gonna have to
that
look.
one,
I'm not gonna go out my way to buy this. So when we back at your house again, I'll try it
try
then.
it. Okay, I have a little packet.
That's That's what.
Because I eat it with my caramel rice cakes.
I can't
They're
believe
really
she
good.
said
I would-
IHOP. This has never happened
Again,
before.
that is not really a preference for. It's just the pancake, just the strawberry cheesecake pancake.
I
Other
like
than
the
that, I don't care.
strawberry. I like this. I'll go for that. But like, I mean, the waffle. I mean, there's so much Waffle House has that's better than IHOP. So much.
Again,
Even the service.
I prefer
That's
local.
questionable.
Let me tell you. Let me put this out here. I prefer local restaurants. I will do that. You
Okay,
know,
I can dig that.
I do.
I can dig
mhm,
that.
Like French press.
Okay.
I'll do that. Like
I can dig that.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
That was a shot from Art. Look, because I did forget this and to end on a better notes because that was just went
We're gonna
downhill
go
right
French
there.
press.
We
That
just-
wasn't an option, but we're going with French press.
That just went downhill with there, so we just gonna have to go to something good because that was.
Apparently, I can't be trusted when it comes to breakfast.
Jeez. So tell me about your health journey though, because I know you've been actually showcasing that online and everything too, because you did kickboxing. You still doing that?
No, I mean, I do have a bag at home. But
Yeah,
no, I
nah,
don't
but
do
you
that
was
anymore.
going to town though. Like you was like, I was like, damn. So how'd you do good? Like how, like you know, you started. I don't want to ask the weight, but how much weight did you lose?
I lost about 30 pounds. I
Damn.
think I lost more than 30 pounds, but
Yeah.
but then I gained it back, which we typically do. So I lost it. Like I started my journey might be 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I lost, like I said, 30 something pounds. Then I got comfortable. I hit my goal weight, and I was like, let me eat and drink what I want. And so I did.
Yeah, right.
I did, and I gained a few pounds back. And so now I'm still in the process of trying to lose those pounds that I gained, but I also think you just gotta enjoy life
Yeah,
at the same time.
enjoy
But
life.
be careful. I mean, not be careful, but still eat as best as you can. Eat healthy, and that's
Yeah.
what I still try and do, and also enjoy myself at times because like we went on a trip to Mexico, and when I
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
we went to
yeah.
Mexico, them pounds would not come off. I ate and drank whatever I wanted while we were in Tulum.
Yeah.
Anything that I like, everything.
Right.
And so I came back, and it didn't take till maybe a month ago. That was June of last year. It didn't take till maybe a month ago for me to get that off. Because I was like, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, as
But,
you should.
But yeah, it's been a journey. I work out. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go to boot camp,
Yeah.
4:45, and when I'm not doing boot camp, I'm getting on my bike. I have a Peloton at home, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
take
Oh,
spin
y'all got
class.
money. Damn.
No,
Man,
no.
I think that thing like $2,000. It's like a Tesla.
It is
I
not
heard.
it's less than $2,000.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more than $1,000, but less than $2,000.
Well, don't.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I mean, if you can do it, it's definitely worth it because I love it. Like that is something was worth the investment just because I love spin.
Yeah.
Spin class.
I did spin class before in Baton
Spin.
Rouge when I lived out there. Spin. Whoo.
Let me tell you, when the music is right, which that's how I pick my classes when I'm picking my class that I'm gonna
Yeah.
take. I love R&B, hip hop.
That's my
Zydeco
favorite
isn't
genre.
an option, but
Yeah.
R&B, hip hop. I'm gonna find they have 90s class.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do that, and that gets me going. Like I got on my bike this morning, and it's a
Right.
good way to start the morning. But I just feel like working out really helps with your physical health, but
Yes.
also your mental health.
Right.
It just really helps with that. I mean, I talked to you earlier about like I deal with anxiety, which is something a lot of people deal
Yes,
with. And I
yes.
think that working out just helps to kind of clear your mind, help with that overthinking you might be having. It's a way to just get through it. Like just leave it where it is.
Right.
And that's something that they even say in the class. They'll tell people whatever. Take these 45 minutes for yourself and leave
Yeah.
everything else wherever it is.
Right.
And so I recommend just finding something. Like if you're trying to start a journey, just try and be consistent with something, whether it's 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Start somewhere,
Something.
get consistent, and once you do that, once you get the consistency, well then you're good. To me, you're good to go. That's how it worked for me. Like
Right.
I would always fall off, but one thing that I might not be as consistent with my food all the time.
Yeah. We live in Louisiana, so I mean it's understandable.
Exactly, but working out, that's something I have not stopped. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty consistent 6 days a week.
Yeah, that's for real. Like guys, your guys might look at things like spin. Spin is intense, and I would recommend anybody to do it. So it's
Brandon.
great. Yeah, it's Brandon.
He's scared to get on my bike.
Cause you should do it, man. Then y'all got it at home. It's easy. You should do
He's
it.
still scared to
Now
get on
look,
the
when y'all upgrade the new bike, just give me that one. Just give me that one. I'm
We
cheap.
will, but I'm
Just give me that one.
gonna keep that one.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, it's
That's
not cheap.
but that's
I'm keeping
good
it.
though. You should keep it, but if you don't, just let me know.
I'll let you
But that's great. I'm glad. So let me ask you this: what's next for Jazmin Thibodeaux?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Look, right now I'm here. I don't. I'm at Channel 3. I've been there. It'll make 2 years in September. And I'm here in Lafayette.
Yeah.
Like, you see me around, say hello. I have, my kids are in public school here.
Yeah.
Well, I have one. He's going to kindergarten next year. He's still
Yeah.
in pre-K at the daycare, but still. So I'm here. That's
Right.
what's next for me. Whatever happens at the station next is what's next for me work-wise,
Yeah.
at least, and personal life is just whatever. My personal life is run by my kids.
So
it's whatever.
as mine as well. So
Look,
I understand that. I didn't
it's
know
whatever
maybe
is
you were
next
trying
for
to
them.
go to like New York and be like on CBS News or anything like that. Or?
My dream was always to work for CNN. That's what I
Okay.
always said. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still fairly young, I would think. I
Yeah.
would say I'm 33 years
Yeah,
old, so
younger
I'm
than me.
young.
Yeah, you young.
So I still have time. So it's whatever I decide to pursue. It's just at this point, what I do love is having my kids around family.
Yeah.
To and I have help with the kids because my husband does work out of town.
Right.
So it's like that. why would you leave that? At least not right now.
Yeah.
Not while they're young.
Right.
So I don't know what the far out future has for me. Who knows? But the near future is just like right now I'm pretty settled unless some big opportunity pops up that I can't pass up.
Right.
Well, then
It's
we'll
possible.
see.
Then we'll see.
We'll see.
So you guys stay tuned for my cousin Jazmin Thibodeaux, Cray-Chan. All right. So you guys can see her on KATC TV3. When like is it 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? Which
You'll usually see me. I mean, I'll appear sometimes in the morning if my story airs, but you'll mainly see me at 6 p.m. and every now and then you'll see me at 5. But mainly, if you want to watch, watch or see me, I'll be at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Y'all can see her there. And when y'all see her in public, don't be hesitant. Tell her hi. She's shy. She won't bite, but she'll definitely talk to you guys.
I will.
Just don't trust her when it comes to IHOP or Waffle House. That's all I ask you.
French
all
fries.
right. But hey, you guys got to meet Jazmin Thibodeaux. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Signing out. Yeah, that was good.
Yay.
That was good. I can't believe she.
I swear, y'all, I am not an IHOP person.
What's up, Louisiana? Thanks for watching another episode of Louisiana on Fire. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified for the next episode.